Yo, dudes. Oren here. Welcome to Monday Night Football. I don't have earbuds in this time. Instead, I had just these headphones because I was at the gym about a couple hours ago, and I used the earbuds for that, so they have to charge. So I look a little funny tonight, so no biggie. I went on Facebook Marketplace, and instead of just a regular metal normal chair, I got myself like an actual computer chair, which you can kind of see there. So that'll bring some comfort for me. So, and as I've learned from lots of YouTubers out there, it is a common trend to give your computer chair a name. So I will probably spend a lot of tonight thinking about that. So, but yeah. This game should be at least a little bit more entertaining than last night's Sunday Night Football game between the Giants and the Cowboys, who the Cowboys just absolutely dominated them both on offense and defense. The Giants just did not show up at all. So my tablet still, I'm watching it on my tablet, and I'm using the NFL Plus app to get the game. So it's the way I prefer to do it, just try new things. Yeah. It's still doing the pregame thing right now, so I got to refresh it, and that way I'll get the game, since the game should be starting right about now. So give me just a second here. I see one or two people in here, so how's it going, Quandalite? I think I got that right that time. How is it going today? You're my first guest. I don't have a prize, but if you watched my primetime preview video, that you saw me talk about how I think these teams are like A and A1, like with defense and with coaching, and it could really go either way with those things. But I gave the edge to the Jets just because I think they're hungry for a win, whereas the Bills are still kind of on that slight moody downward spiral after getting embarrassed by the knocked out of the playoffs by the Bengals. It's giving me the Colts and Jaguars. That's not what I want. Stand by. Stand by. I know the game is starting because the Gamecast on ESPN, I have that tab up, is already going. Looks like a kickoff just happened. And it's still giving me the preview. All right, stand by. Bear with me here. I know Josh Allen just passed it to get 7 yards, but this is one of those things where I just need to get the timing down perfect. But dang it, still not working. I swear, if I miss a big play because of this, I'm not going to be happy about that. I know the Bills just got a first down, so I'm relying on the play-by-play. There we go. I got the game now. I see Johnson the second walking around from the Jets. I hear Joe Buck's voice. Gosh darn it. Why couldn't they just give me the the Manning cast. 2nd and 7, Josh Allen shotgun. Running back standing on his left. Hands it off to the running back and gains about a couple of yards. I just complained about Joe Buck, but maybe there's other viewing options. Let me look here. Oh, yes, Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli. Let's do that one. And then there's a Spanish version of the show, so hopefully no issues getting that. Who do I have today, Vector? I have the Jets. Although I think this will be a very, very close game. I think both teams are very capable on defense, but I feel like the Bills are still sad from getting eliminated by the Bengals when they should have won from last season. That, and I think the Jets offense has so many different changes that the Bills will probably have a harder time preparing for that. Whereas the other things, everybody else's offense and defense has looked relatively the same, and there's tape for them to study, so they should be better prepared for that. So the Jets have the advantage for that, but even though I think the Bills objectively has the better offense right now, I got Peyton and Eli. This is so much better than Joe Buck. Eli just got done talking about some stuff that I don't understand as a casual football fan, but that's okay. But it looks like Aaron Rodgers is on the field now. After it was 4th and 5, and they had to punt. Eli's saying it's getting time to used to saying Aaron Rodgers with the Jets or whatever. And Peyton's relating to that with his experience by going to the Broncos. It's 1st and 10 on the 12. Rodgers under center. Green 18. Hands it off to 20, the running back. Well, I think it's Brees Hall. He breaks away, 1st down and more. Down to the 40. That was like a 30-yard gain there. 1st down and much, much more. I'll tell you what my raid bait idea is at the 2-minute warning. That's when I like to kind of reveal the idea and get everybody ready for it. So I bet you won't be able to guess what it is, though. I woke up with one idea, but then I realized it probably took me a little bit too long to prepare for it, so I went with another idea. 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers drops back to pass. He's getting scrambled. Oh, almost got sacked. Throws it away. He had pressure on that one. The Jets offensive line, people were saying, did have questions about, and looks like that's coming to fruition with that play. Eli's talking about, getting a slant to the left. And then, must have been the edge rusher for the Bills. Maybe it was Russo. He dived at Rodgers' legs and touched them, but failed to bring it down Rodgers. So now it's 2nd and 10 at the 38. They're on 38. Rodgers in shotgun. Drops back to pass. Slant, incomplete, but flag on the play. The receiver, it hit his hands and then it just bounced away. It was incomplete. Prior to the pass, holding number whoever offense. I'll probably be quiet for 5 seconds or so at a time because I want to hear what Eli and Peyton are talking about. It's like Eli's the color commentator tonight talking about what the quarterbacks are thinking about. And, Rodgers gets sacked by number 56. Didn't even look like he saw him coming. And then Peyton was trying to think of out of the box type of questions asked to keep it interesting. Oh, someone's down. Number 8. Oh, Rogers. He's sitting down. He was kind of doing this and was kind of, what's going on with Rogers? Yeah, that edge rusher, he looked like he knocked down the offensive player and then just went straight for Rogers from behind. Rogers didn't even see him till the last second. They're showing the replay. Floyd is who got that sack. 56, Floyd. He brought him down at the waist, but they're saying, oh, he's getting carried off the field. He's in arms, someone on his right, someone on his left, and they're walking off the field. And guess who's in the game? None other than Zach Wilson at 2nd and 20. So Rogers is already out of the game right now. He might return, depending on what the injury is. Not even 5 minutes into the game, and Rogers is out. Appears to be out with an injury. Meanwhile, Zach Wilson completed a pass for 7 yards, so now it's 3rd and 13. Peyton says he's talked to McDermott. It's confirming what I say. They didn't know what to prepare for with the Jets offense. So Wilson drops back, check down, gets brought down, 5-yard gains. It's probably going to be 4th down. They're probably going to punt it now. Yeah, Zach Wilson's in now. He's been in for 2 plays now. Interesting turn of events here. Peyton saying he did not talk to Zach Wilson, but he talked to McDermott, who's also not just the head coach this season for the Buffalo Bills, but also the defensive coordinator. So interesting strategy there. So I was surprised when I did the research for my primetime preview video to learn that, but and the punt is away. Goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Oh, man. Those Packers fans who still kind of haven't let go of Rodgers will probably be watching this and they're like, oh, no. But those of them are probably like, oh, I'm glad he's not playing with the Packers right now to get injured like that and have him out in the season or whatever. I know Packers fans were pretty much over Rodgers for a while because of all of his gimmicks with the Packers and everything, from what I've been hearing. Ever since the 2022 draft, I think it was, where Rodgers announced his intentions to want to leave Green Bay. No, it was 2021. That's where he kind of blew things up. But yeah, we're on a commercial break right now, so still at zeros. Defense is holding up so far. So I think Buffalo just got 1 first down so far, and that was it. But yeah, I wonder how this is going to affect the course of the game now that Zach Wilson appears to be in for the foreseeable future. Once I hear the field reporters or whoever give updates on the situation, then I'll be sure to talk about it. But for the time being, Aaron Rodgers is out and Zach Wilson is in. Looks like Rodgers got an ankle injury or something after getting sacked. And it looked like a clean sack, too. It didn't look like Floyd hit him too hard. He wrapped him up in the waist and brought him down the way he was supposed to, not in a dangerous way, because I know refs are very protective of the quarterbacks. So how was everybody's day today? I kind of had a busy day. I Found out I woke up with a call with the HR department for the person who got where I'm getting my new job, and sounds like I start work tomorrow. I go in and fill out paperwork and taxes, and then I get to start that. So my full-time job is finally starting tomorrow after a lengthy background check, which is now done. And then I just kind of spent it cleaning up. I received some furniture, and I had a pile of cardboard, and I just went and threw that away. This afternoon, I weightlifted. Or no, I didn't weightlift. I went to Planet Fitness and ran on the treadmill for a while. And then I purchased this computer chair on Facebook Marketplace for like $20. I'll give a detailed look at it later on. They're back, and they're showing pictures of Peyton Manning and Josh Allen with a bunch of kids and stuff like that. I'll just show you right now. Yeah, standard computer chair. It looks good. It kind of leans slightly to my right, your left, but I don't perceive too much of a difference with that. So, and the Bills already have a false start. They have a card on the sideline next to the tent, adding to the suspense of the Rodgers situation. 1st and 15, hands off to number 4. He gets a gain of about 5. Peyton asks Eli, like, would you rather play against a defense that's vanilla or one that's like unorthodox with a bunch of blitzes and stuff like that? And the latter, it sounds like, is describing the Lions defense and what Aaron Glenn likes to do, in my opinion. And I'm talking over Eli's answer to that question. Bills are switching around things on offense. 2nd and 10. Shotgun. Check downs to the running back. No gain as he tries to go to the sideline and gets brought down. Oh, Rodgers is on the cart. He's laying in the back of the cart, and they're getting ready to drive it away. He's out of the tent, and now he's on the cart on the sidelines. It does not look good for his return. Meanwhile, Allen breaks away through the middle, gets a first down and more, and he mobile QBs it for a first down down the middle. And there goes the cart, slowly making its way. I can't believe I'm providing analysis, not on a football game, not even on Peyton and Eli Manning, but on Rodgers is now off the cart, and he's limping into the tunnel. But this must be what it's like to follow the Packers. Like, not what the team's doing, but what is Aaron Rodgers doing? It's like we're all his own paparazzi. Allen checks down again, and he goes out of bounds for a 3-yard gain. That's 2nd down. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is out. Yeah. Just imagine trading everything that you traded and all that offseason discussions to get Rodgers in that trade, only to have him injured and out for the season on the first few plays of the game. What a gamble and loss there. The running back gets a first down and more down at the 50-yard line. I got to figure out who number 4 is. Yeah, they're showing the blitz again. Was it a significant injury? It's his left foot. Peyton keeps saying it's his foot, it's his foot, it's his foot, it's his left foot. Oh! It looked like it kind of bent that way sideways, kind of like a, what would you call it? Not like a sprained ankle, but worse maybe? I don't know. 1st and 10. Allen to the side and passes to the side, gaining about 6. There's a lot going on right now. They're showing the replay of Rodgers getting off the cart and limping into the tunnel with like 3 security people surrounding him. Meanwhile, 2nd and 4. Allen and shotgun. Passes across the middle on a slant. 1st down and more to Diggs. Down to like the 45-yard line. I got to tell you guys, I got convinced Josh Allen was the best quarterback a couple of postseasons ago in the first round playoff game against the New England Patriots, and they just crushed them. And I never seen a quarterback and a team as dominant as the Bills, and I was convinced during that time that they were like the best one. And then a week later, they had that epic overtime game with Kansas City that came down to the coin toss, and Allen gets sacked. There was like blocking going on, getting closer and closer to him as he dropped back to the pass, and then eventually somebody got to him and brought him down. Number 91, who got up and waved to the crowd after the sack. And I'm listening to Eli talk. Who's number 91? It was him and somebody else while 2 offensive linemen were trying to block. But they just it's like they pushed him and he fell over. 2nd and 19 now. Allen, quick pass to the middle. Caught. Gets a few yards. To Knox. I can't remember who Knox is. I'm assuming he's the tight end who's not Dalton Kincaid. Because that's the tight end the Bills drafted in the 1st round, right? Kincaid? I know there was a big tight end run early in the 2nd round, which the Lions were wise to trade for a pick to get ahead of all of it, and they got the one that they wanted, Sam Laporta, who's I like so far. 3rd and 15. Allen drops back to pass. Across to 22, the pass goes, and he gets within 1 yard of the 1st down, so it's 4th down. So not enough. Peyton is saying you got to go for it on 4th down here. Dan Campbell definitely would. They're kicking a field goal, and Peyton sounds irritated. They're kicking a field goal. A field goal. And he's like, yeah, better. It's better taking the points than nothing. Get an early lead. He's conceded, and he's like, I'll take the points. And they kick us up, and it's good. Out of, 38 yards? Double check. 40-yard field goal, good. So somewhat of a low-scoring game right now. Both defenses appear to be doing well so far. Aaron Rodgers is already out, and Zach Wilson is in at quarterback after getting sacked and getting what looked like an ankle injury from that. He was transported by cart to the tunnel. Then he got off and he limped into the tunnel. This could be just a ploy for attention, which I wouldn't put it past Aaron Rodgers to do, but you would think he'd be so happy with the Jets that, he wouldn't want to do such shenanigans, but maybe it really is an injury, and it's just we'll find out more later. I'm tempted to go peek at Tom Grossi and Brandon Perna's live stream and see what their reactions are, but it's way too early for that. I mean, I did last night when things got so boring and there was nothing to do, but yeah, I can't imagine. I don't know. Grossi's reaction could be a number of different things. So I'm just going to check the play-by-play and some of the stats so far, the box score. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing with Josh Allen so far. He hasn't done a whole lot, but he's seems like he's not having trouble passing the ball or rushing when he needs to. So, standard Josh Allen. So one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He's the one quarterback whom, if I was a defensive player, I would definitely have to be concerned that he would run me over, and I'd have to actually tackle him as hard as I could, even though he's a quarterback, and I know the refs would probably suspend me for tackling him because he's a quarterback, but what choice would I have? Josh Allen's 8 for 9 so far, 54 yards. That's passing. And then Allen has 1 rush for 14 yards. And then James Cook is that running back, and he's got 4 carries for 18 yards. Stephon Diggs has 2 receptions for 22 yards so far. And I'm about to get the hiccups. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers' stats was 0 for 1. And then Zach Wilson is 2 for 2 for 13 yards. And then rushing is Breece Hall, 1 carry for 26 yards. Don't forget the Jets still have they have Dalvin Cook on this team now. So all that work in the offseason. Oh, Garrett Williams has 1 reception for 7 yards. All that work in the offseason to acquire Rodgers in the trade. And not only that, they brought in the offensive coordinator for Rodgers. They brought in 2 wide receivers that Aaron Rodgers likes and knows, all to make him comfortable. All right, the kickoff happened, and Zach Wilson jogs back out there. I get the feeling Peyton would love being teammates with Dan Campbell, or Dan Campbell would as a head coach, and given their aggressive tendencies. Good. I checked on Grusty, and he's not very surprised about Rodgers. Of course he's not. Probably has an indifferent reaction to it. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if he came out with a video later tonight where it's like Packers fans' reactions to Aaron Rodgers getting injured or whatever. Or it could be part of the post-game reactions with the Jets fans and the other fans. There's a flag on the play, and the refs are in a circle talking about stuff. Peyton, meanwhile, is talking about throwing into people's butts. Saying that out of context, I'm sure. I couldn't hear what the ref said the penalty was, but it was on the offense. Penalty was declined, 2nd down. Oh, ineligible downfield pass was the penalty. Second and 10. 2:58 left in the first quarter. Ball on the 22. And someone jumped offside. People are pointing at each other. Linemen are pointing at each other. Offside's 58 offense. So a fair amount of penalties so far in this game tonight, too. Peyton is talking about, I came in here prepared to talk for 4 quarters about how Rodgers knows the system and everything, but now he's out, and Zach Wilson's in, who doesn't know the system. Passed it toward the sideline, caught for about 3-yard gain. It's 3rd down now. Clock is running down to 2:40. And Buffalo's ahead 3-0, and I got to change that. I got to get better at remembering to change the score back here. Third and 12. Wilson and shotgun. Drops back to pass. Passes it downfield. Caught. 1st down and more. Down at the 40. It looks like Garrett Wilson. That was a several-yard pass. It was kind of a post route, I think. It was halfway between the sideline and the middle of the field. 22-yard pass. He defeated the zone coverage and got open there for a second. He was in the middle of the triangle. 1st and 10. Hands off to Breece Hall, who gets about 4 yards there. Yeah, Grassi's not very surprised. I wonder what sort of jokes or silliness Perna is saying about it. Or maybe he's still bitter about the Raiders defeating the Broncos. I saw Perna's video earlier today, too. That really got to him as far as I can tell. 2nd and 5. Pitches it to Breece Hall. Goes to the left, and he's brought down in the backfield. 58. Stopped him right as soon as he caught the pitch. Milano, or Milan, whatever that guy's name is. I think it's Milano, actually. He caught the pitch and got him. Circle tackle type of thing. Yep, Milano. Lining up on the inside. He kind of ran right through a gap, and nobody picked him up on the block, and he just brought him down right away. So it's 3rd and 9 now. The clock is running, 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Wilson in shotgun. Drops back. Processing. Gets sacked from behind, 97. He did not see him at all until the last second, and he tried to run, and he only made it 2 steps before he got tripped up for a sack. And with that, it's the end of the first quarter. Someone named John McEnroe is going to be on the show later on. And with that, my orange juice is done, so time for the water. I'm going to dig into a snack here real quick. Commercial about AI stuff right now. A lot of trends with that, I guess, going on. People are trying to create fear about, it's going to take away our jobs. I can't even take news seriously anymore because I know too much about how the purpose of bringing out certain news stories like that is to, scare people into or make them feel a certain way into giving them more clicks on their web pages and then boosting their TV ratings. So I just try to find objective news wherever I can, whenever I need it. I have a bottle of water here, which is kind of soaking the nearby area on the table, and it soaked part of my raid bait. So I got to be careful about that. Gotta drink as much water as I can. Gotta stay healthy. So far 3-0 Buffalo. So it's a pitcher's duel so far, which is basically kind of what I was expecting. Although I figured the Jets offense would do some impressive stuff. But now that Rodgers is out, it's kind of back to last year again. Yeah, it's tough to say. And we're back already, and John McEnroe has joined the Manning cast. Something about his wife and screaming. Zach Wilson is talking to coordinators on the sideline or listening to them as they talk to him. Probably catching him up on a whole bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, Josh Allen gets the snap. He tried to kind of scramble around somebody, and he got brought down, and it looked like there was a fumble, and they pried the ball open, but it wasn't a fumble, so second down. Macro saying, "Oh, I tried to do this type of show before, but it was already done by the Mannings." And everybody else who does YouTube. We're showing Zach Wilson, who's massaging his headband, worrying about his looks and his hair. Showing pictures of Eli Manning and some lady on the field. I just heard a ref say that while they're showing that picture, there's no challenge on a forward progress something. Second and 12, shotgun for Allen. Doing this, calling an audible, walking around kind of. Takes the snap, shotgun snap, checks down to the running back, and a gain of about 3. Don't think the Jets are going to win without Rodgers. It's looking more and more difficult at this point now, but the Jets still have Garrett Wilson as a wide receiver, and they got Dalvin Cook as a running back along with Breece Hall, so they could still make some noise on offense, but Buffalo is a complete team where you cannot have any margin of error if you hope to defeat them. The Detroit Lions last Thanksgiving played them and made like 1 or 2 mistakes or so, and it cost them in that game. And Allen goes deep, and it's intercepted. Is that Sauce Gardner? He tried to go deep. It was like 5 yards from the end zone, and the receiver was nowhere near it, but number 3 caught it and intercepted it. That had to have been Sauce Gardner, right? Boom. It's like he was – no, it was somebody else. Yeah, that wasn't Sauce. But still, there was an interception as if that defender was the receiver. That's honestly what it looked like. And the Bills receiver and then another Jets defender was like a couple of yards like behind them trying to chase them. Well, if he can't punt it, at least intercepted on a deep ball, I suppose. But Josh Allen has his first interception of the night. So there's some things going on in this game. Doing a Sudoku. I was just thinking about I watched Dan Campbell talk at a press conference earlier today, and I guess like he misunderstood the question and he just kept going and going with the answer, and then the reporter finally like said, "I actually meant like the defense or whatever," and it was just like a big laugh. Campbell just owned it. He owned it, and it was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for stopping me and everything." Okay, here's you're the question, and I know what you're asking now, and you just kind of ran with it. So one of the things I like about watching NFL and sports in general is just the press conferences and like how they handle like difficult questions from the reporters and everything. And Dan Campbell is always been like really transparent, but he does like a really good job with his like questions. Like he's ever since his first one with the kneecap biting, he set the tone with that, even though people thought he was like a meathead for that. But I've seen several of his press conferences, and he's pretty sharp and he's pretty transparent, and he gives a breath of fresh air compared to the previous head coach who just gave you a bunch of basic nothings and almost never was out for press conferences and stuff. We're back. Wilson under center, 1st and 10 at the 9. Hands it off to Breece Hall, who gets a first down and more. Down to the 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Wow, that was a huge run by Breece Hall. He just sped through a bunch of people there. All across the field, almost for a touchdown. What a run by Breece Hall. Now the Jets are within scoring distance, going from one red zone to the other. Great blocking, showing the replay. And then you just out-duke the safety toward the middle. Okay, it's 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line now. The other 13-yard line. Wilson under center. Gives it to the other running back, who gets a gain of 1. Breece Hall's on the sideline, so somebody else got that other one. One of two players with 400-plus rushing yards with 200 receiving yards. The other one being Christian McCaffrey. So he's basically what Gibbs is everyone's hoping to be as the season goes on. Jahmyr Gibbs, that is, of the Lions. 2nd and 10, gives off the running back again. It's 33. I'm thinking that might be Dalvin Cook, but I could be wrong. Yep, it is Cook. You couldn't see his name because his braids were like blocking the name on the back of the uniform. So yeah, after that 1 yard huge run, you'd think Breece Hall would need a couple of rests out and put Dalvin Cook in. So 3rd and 5 at the 9-yard line. The first down is at the 3-yard line. That's where they got to get to, unless they want to do a touchdown. But Wilson's calling audibles. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Gets the snap. Gets pressured. Scrambles to his left. Gets rid of the ball. Throws it out of bounds. He was pressured and almost got sacked by Milano. Peyton's pointing out the same mistakes. Like, you could run around with it and everything, but you shouldn't have done a lot of that. So now the field goal kicker is out again. The Jets field goal kicker this time. 26-yard attempt. Kick is up and the field goal is good. So we got a tied game now. We have a tied game. So that huge run by Breece Hall results in a field goal. I wonder what Aaron Rodgers would have done differently there. Not to troll or anything for anybody who is an Aaron Rodgers fan. Caesar Sportsbook. All sorts of advertisements for gambling like I've never, uh, more than ever before. Like if I continue YouTubing and then I'm able to get like the deals with like the certain companies to say their ads, like what's the one I'm thinking of? Underdog Fantasies or maybe BetGM or anything like that. Primetime is having a bad start so far. I guess if you consider the fact that Rodgers is out, then yeah. So at least it's not like a lopsided game like the Cowboys and the Giants last night. But this one's already kind of tied. But like the defenses are doing a pretty decent job, and there's been that really good run by Brees Hall after that interception after Josh Allen tried to go deep. So there's been a few plays every here and there. Haven't seen anything from Sauce yet. Probably because they know better than to pass the ball in his direction. Haven't seen too much from Garrett Wilson yet either. I know he caught at least one pass that looked really good. They're recapping everything going on right now. Saying they sent McElroy's audition tape, and he didn't like being interviewed as kickoff happens into the end zone. Must have been a younger version of him yelling about a question, jerk. At a tennis match? I don't have any context for what I just saw there. Showing Jets fans. They all look pretty quiet right now. 1st and 10 at the 25. Allen in shotgun. Hands it off to the running back who gets tripped up in the backfield. Loss of like 5 there, right where Allen was standing in shotgun. Handed off to him, and he immediately got taken down by Quinnen Williams. No one even attempted to block Quinnen, and he just busted right through and took down the running back. Yeah, I agree. Like, Allen passes it off and breaks a tackle. Diggs breaks a tackle. Just a first down and is knocked out of bounds. Yeah, I would agree with you. For right now, I'm not going to bite off more than what I can chew. I'm just going to stick to my strategy of streaming Lions games as well as the primetime games. And I'm not going to worry about graphics until like later. I'm just going to get used to, the analysis and interacting with the people in the chat and everything. So, and I'm not taking myself too seriously here. I call myself the casual Lions fan because I'm not trying to sound like a professional because I know I'm not. So Allen passes across the middle, almost gets picked. But I watched all these other YouTubers for a few years now do this consistently, and I figured, you know what? I've been commenting on their stuff so often. Why not get myself into the mix there too? And either that or just like continue to watch them do it while watching the games when I know I could be doing it too. So, and it's been fun so far. But yeah, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and trust the process and continue to slowly develop my stuff and try new things, try other ideas. Almost gets a first down there. 3rd and 2 now. Peyton's talking about getting fired up to go to school every day. It's like the brothers are reminiscing about stories as kids. Third and 2. And I bet NFL and other streamers and other people appreciate people like me streaming like this. Oh, Allen's scrambling. He's going to run with the ball. He gets the first down and more. He like pump faked it and then ran for it and got the first down. But I like to think people appreciate YouTubers of my brand, of my demographic, because I am pretty much a representation of a large percentage of NFL viewers. So the more they can kind of study me, the more they can make the viewing experience better for everyone. So, all right, 1st and 10 at the 52. Pitches it to the running back, who gets 1, 2, 3. He gets a first down and more, is out of bounds. Sped through there quite well. It was Cook as that running back. I don't know why I keep. Well, they have an update on Aaron Rodgers. X-rays are negative, but he is out of the game. Cook gets the ball running back again, but he gets a loss of 2. Nowhere to go. All right, repeat from what I said. X-rays are negative on Rodgers' ankle or foot or whatever, but he is out of the game. Oh, man. All the executives and people planning these games and everything are probably banging their heads on the wall that Rodgers is already out of the game. 2nd and 11. Allen drops back to pass, goes deep, caught by Diggs, first down and more, down to the 10. It was about 18 yards. Big play. Oh, Diggs had sauce on him, but he's able to out-duel him and get that catch. I wonder if Sauce Gardner's going to have a sophomore slump type of season. Passes it to Giggs toward the corner. He gets about 3 yards there. Clock is running. 6 minutes left in the second half. Second and 7. All three of them are chatting while the Bills are about to score. Allen hands it off, runs it up the middle, gains about 3 yards down to the 5-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down. The first down marker is at like the 1-yard line, so that's why it's not like 3rd and goal. They're showing more tennis footage of he's breaking rackets, throwing a fit or something. 3rd and 4. McElroy deflected by, don't miss the 3rd down play. Predicting Josh Allen will run, but nope, he drops. Yep, he's running anyway. He's pump faking, and he's running it. Oh, he passed it to Diggs. Touchdown. They're wondering if he crossed the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was going to run it until the very last second. Then he passed it to Diggs, who was like right there toward the edge there. They're calling it a touchdown. They have some sort of gimmick, perfect production panel, and a cardboard cutout of McElroy's face because he predicted the touchdown or something. Eli walked away to the side to. Okay, now it's under review. That's probably what they would be looking at. Did he cross the line of scrimmage before passing it? I think. Okay, the ref just said touchdown was confirmed. Now the extra point unit is out, so it is a touchdown. So Josh Allen doing Josh Allen stuff still. So the extra point is up and good. And we have a 10-3 game with the Bills having the lead. So the Bills are looking like a better team than what I thought they would be when they got eliminated by the Bengals. So they look as sharp as they ever have now. So I guess I was wrong about that prediction there. Ten to nothing. Browse the internet for a minute until the commercials come back. Let's see what Twitter is saying about this game. What's trending right now? FanDuel is trending, but that's a promoted one. Jets is trending. X-Ways is trending. Diggs is trending. Show more. Aaron Rodgers is trending. Achilles is trending. Mike Greenberg is trending. Ankle, Joe Buck, X-Rays, Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh, Matt Olson, Josh Allen, Alaska, and then Greeny. Let's click on the Aaron Rodgers one. Latest. I see Vikings fans posting about their satisfaction about Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know if that's in bad taste or not. The game is back on, and there's kickoff. Peyton looks like he's ranting about something. More questions about McElroy. They're showing footage of McElroy attempting field goals or extra points kicking. And they look like line drives that are just barely getting to the crossbar. We got 1st and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. Wilson under center. Play action. Scrambles a bit. Dumps it off to the running back over there. And gains about 1 or 2. Showing footage of people in tennis outfits. Can't tell who it is, though. Peyton and some other guy. Peyton's also wearing a wig with a bunch of hair covering everything. 4:05 left to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 8. Pitches it to the right to Dalvin Cook, who is going to get a first down and is gone out of bounds. Hit out of bounds. The NFC North's reaction in week 1. Yep, I'll watch that later. The pop-ups are showing up on my tablet. where I tend to watch the majority of my YouTube stuff. My tablet's for my entertainment stuff. My laptop is for my webcam as well as anything I got to type out. And my cell phone is for other apps. 1st and 10. Wilson under center. Drops back to pass. Fires down the middle, and it's intercepted. 56. And Wilson actually knocks him over, and there's a flag. So we have an interception. Wilson might be injured from hitting him down. No, he's not. He's jogging off. He looks all right. All right, what's the penalty? Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting 58 of the intercepting team. Yeah, show us the replay of that. He just passed it right to the guy. It's the guy who caught the interception who got the penalty also. He tossed it right to him, but his receiver intended target was like a foot or so behind him, and you could barely see him till the last second. So the Bills have the ball again. Bill ball. For a second consecutive night, things are not going the way of the New York team. And we were hoping for a good game and a shootout, and it is still a good game, but Buffalo is still Buffalo looks like they're slowly starting to creep away with it so far, but there's still plenty of game left. We're deep into the second quarter. It's not quite the 2-minute warning yet. .308 left to go in the second quarter. It was intended for Randall Cobb, but intercepted by Milano. Milano is having a great night tonight. Was Milano the guy that I talked about? No, I talked about Greg Rousseau. In my primetime preview video, that is. But yeah, Bills are doing everything that they need to do. Their defense is doing quite well. Allen is getting the job done when he needs to, and both Cooks are running backs in this game, and they're doing their thing. But the Bills' Cook has been doing more, slightly more. Actually, let's bring up the box score. James Cook of the Bills is 7 carries, 24 yards. And then Breece Hall, he has 2 carries and 109 yards already. Obviously, his longest one being the 83-yard run. And then Dalvin Cook has like 5 carries for 16 yards. We haven't seen much of Breece Hall since that huge run, and it's been Dalvin Cook ever since. Now they're doing Eli's tablet where he's like drawing yellow stuff to analyze what happened. Stephon Diggs has 5 receptions for 48 yards. And the leading Jets receiver is Allen Lazard, 1 reception, 22 yards. Allen tosses it aside. And he wrestles his way to get 5 yards or so. McElroy is ranting right now about how Jets fans are in shock, and you got to run the ball now. Peyton's like, couldn't have said it better myself. Hands it off to Cook, who gets a first down and more towards the sideline. He's still going. Pushed out the side eventually, but there's a flag on play. There's no foul for holding on the play, the refs say. But where are the Bills going to get the ball at? Where? Because it looked like he could have gone out of bounds at any point. Clock is running it down to 2:20. Oh, that Jet almost tackled him, but he missed, and he got away from him because of it. Looks like they're going to go to the 2-minute warning. Now it's time for me to reveal what I'm doing for raid bait. And McElroy is leaving. All right. RB raid bait is Sudoku. We are going to do a Sudoku together. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you me doing it, and I'm going to explain my process for how I complete the Sudoku. So definitely another random raid bait. And it almost got soaked by the water bottle that was sitting right next to it, so I took precautions there. And we are going to try to solve a Sudoku together. And I've already kind of started it. Not in a way where I've solved anything yet. Y'all know what I mean when I see it. But, yeah, get ready to do a Sudoku at halftime. Just checking my phone. I'm getting all sorts of updates about Aaron Rodgers. By the way, this is my phone cover. What does that look like to you? What does that look like? Now everybody knows. When I'm looking at my phone, they know what I'm probably getting information about. What am I reading? What pictures am I looking at? What is it related to? This is the hint. But it should be obvious to everyone. I'm going to try to head to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Chair takeover. I haven't thought of a name for you yet, but I will. See if I haven't missed much. They're showing a commercial for Google while at the same time showing the stuff at the game. Fans, Zach Wilson on the sidelines talking to someone. Oh, can you not see it back there? It's the raid bait idea. It's Sudoku. We're going to do a Sudoku together at halftime. Looks like Allen got a first down, rushing it up the middle there. Okay, Buffalo called a timeout, and now that both teams are going to start this timeout game where they're going to call timeouts at the most least likely times you would think of in that split second and annoy the crap out of you, which is probably the thing I get most annoyed at during the last parts of the game or the last parts of the half. But I understand it from the coaching perspective. You know what, you want to plan out everything as best as you can, and you got to use your timeouts for that when you can. And but it's just so many commercials, and it's just so slowing the game down. But that just means the plays are so important. Yeah, don't worry about it, Vector. So I try to write it here. Hopefully you can read it. I learned from last night that the letters from a lot of the stuff were too small and hard to read. So I tried to make them bigger, but I can't really focus on writing that big here while, trying to live stream at the same time. So, but I'm happy to explain it as best I can. I prefer to wait till the 2-minute warning to reveal it, and then, kind of give people a preview, and then maybe they'll go tell the other people about it, and then they'll come and join me for the halftime, and that increases the chances of attracting a raid. So commercials are depressing right now. I'm seeing a bunch of different types of sauces on that commercial, and I'm expecting Sauce Gardner to pop up, but he didn't. I know he's the official spokesman for Buffalo Wild Wings now, so which I guess would make sense with the whole sauce name and everything. But that turned out to be a Papa John's commercial, so I haven't eaten at Papa John's in a while. I'm not even sure if there is one in the area that I'm living in right now. But I'm trying to diet ever since that cheeseburger from last Thursday, so I've got to be healthy. They're showing Damar Hamlin, who is inactive tonight. He's wearing a green Gatorade towel over his head while wearing a red shirt and some cross necklaces. And we all remember Damar Hamlin. Oh, Allen tried to scramble out of trouble, but he got sacked. Now it's second down with 34 seconds left. They're showing Peyton Manning with a selfie with Damar Hamlin. We all remember that. That's okay. You go eat your supper. So do whatever you got to do, Vector. So I'll be here whether you decide to come back or not. But yeah, Damar Hamlin. I was watching that game. I wasn't watching any streams along with it, but then I saw what was going on slowly, what was happening. It was reminding me of what happened with the Lions at the Patriots. And then I realized how much higher the stakes were with everything, and just continue to watch what was going on. I was trying actively not to watch any of Tom Grassi's content that week because it was Packers and Lions week for high stakes. And anytime that happens, you kind of have to be rivals for a week. Oh, Allen attempted to pass to Diggs, but it was deflected. Now it's 3rd and 13. But then I eventually caved and went into a stream, and he was talking about all sorts of Damar Hamlin stuff and talking about his charity. And if you want to donate to his charity right now, then that he provided the link. And that's one of those things where you got to put aside rivalries and then got to do what's best for humanity. So I was happy to do it. And it didn't jinx me and my Lions in any way in that game because they beat the Packers. It might have jinxed them in the sense that the Rams didn't defeat the Seahawks and they knocked the Lions out of the playoffs. Allen scrambles again. He's running with the ball past the scrimmage. He jumps up and booms into a defender. And then it's 4th down now. Also during that week, I saw Micro Mike bring on Brandon Perna as a guest, which I watched both of them, and I was glad that they were both collaborating. But then halfway through, I realized, wait a minute, was this orchestrated because they're trying to curse the Lions? And I was like, wait, no, this is not the right time, because Perna is infamous for inadvertently cursing a team that he cheers on during that week. Now they're showing footage of Peyton Manning scrambling with the ball and almost scoring a touchdown. And Eli does it too. Topic is scrambling quarterbacks. The quarterbacks of this generation are way better at it than his generation, not to take it away from the Hall of Famer Peyton Manning and what he's accomplished. The field goal attempt is up from 34 yards, and it is good. 13-3 is the score now. Eli, this is not the game I was expecting. Emotional night already. Oh, he's talking about 9/11. Never mind. Yeah, that's definitely like serious. So today is 9/11, 22 years ago since that happened. I remember where I was at when that happened. It was my first day of band practice from 5th grade. I didn't wind up staying with the band. I quit after 2 weeks, but I was on the bus from the high school where the band was practicing, getting brought back to the elementary school. And then I got back into the class, and we were beginning lessons about learning about electricity and how it was travels through a series circuit as opposed to a parallel circuit. We were given like these circuit boards where we could screw in a light bulb and then put a wire over here and understand the series circuits. Kind of like pod racing in Star Wars, but that's a whole other topic. But then we had a normal class day. Then toward the end, we all received a note like all after-school activities were canceled. And I asked the teacher, why are all these canceled? And then she responded, you'll find out why. And then I went home, took a school bus home, and then I opened the door and I hear my dad talking about asking me about the trade centers, the World Trade Centers being attacked, the Pentagon attacked. And I'm like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I went up there to the TV and found out what was happening, and all sorts of confusion and anger and all sorts of stuff going on. And the thing I cared about at the time was Major League Baseball. And I realized that they canceled Major League Baseball for a week because of that. And it was like, wow, shit is getting real today. So, but yeah, 9/11, we'll never forget. It is halftime. We got to get to this early, because we know any potential Raiders are getting towards us. So I ripped out a page, and we're going to attempt to do this Sudoku together. And the way I like to do Sudoku is usually I like to look at each empty square and write in smaller fonts all the possible numbers that can fit into that square. I try to do that for each square, but I only did it for this top row this time. And then that can help me do the Sudoku without having to think much, because I can just look at it and realize, okay, that's where a number would go and everything. And one key to helping solving Sudokus, I don't know if anyone's told you, but for example, if one square only has a 1 and 2 in a row, and then the next square right by it within that row is also 1 and 2, that means both those squares can either only have a 1 or a 2. So if it's possible that any other empty squares in that row could have a potential of a 2, then the 1 and 2 possibility there, the 1 and 2 possibility there cancels out any other 1 and 2 possibilities from the rest of that row or column or square. So you would eliminate that, and then maybe there was a 1 and 2 in this third square, and it can't be anymore. And then the only other option would be a 3. And then you'd know that would be a 3. So feel free to pause your stream and maybe screen cap this if you want, and you can do the Sudoku along with me. And just from looking at this, I know the only one in this square could be a 7. So we write 7 there. And then the one over here, that can only be a 5 and 7 before. But now that there's a 7 here, that cancels out that 7, and that has to be a 5. And then all the way over here on the other side, there's a 5 and 9. But 5 has already got there, so it has to be a 9. And we're already off to a good start there. So we got that one row completed here. So let's take a quick look at these ones. There's other ways I can do it. You can just like think of the number 1 and look at where all the ones are in here. Because every Sudoku has to have like, of this format has to have like 9 of the same number, like 9 ones, 9 twos, 9 threes, so on and so forth. So just from looking at the numbers 1, I see 1 down in this column and then a 1 down in this column. So that cancels out these ones here. So there has to be either a 1 here or 1 here, which I've already marked. And then there's a 1 down there too. So that's not much help because it doesn't give us any more information about which ones those could be. So, but we can definitely keep tabs of that later on. But we know that, and we can look at the other ones and try to solve them for the rest of them. So looking through these middle columns here, we know this 1 goes up here, and then there's another 1 that goes up here. So in this section here, these could only be 1s, but there's another 1 here, which would cross that out. So by default, this square would have to be 1. And that's about as much help that we're going to get from the 1s as we can right now. There's still a few left, but we'll have to get to that later on. Now let's try to look at all the 2s and how many 2s there are here. It's hard for me doing this because I'm looking at this in reverse by holding it up here. So bear with me with that. Okay. Even the 2s and those things look reversed, so all right, the 2's in this column. So there is a 2 right here, which would cancel that out. And then a 2 right here, which would cancel all that out. So this middle one, this sideline is gone. This one sideline gone. These 2 are filled here. So this one has to be 2. And just from looking at the other areas, there's no other 2s and there's no other clues to be able to help us figure that out. So we're out of luck for 2s right now. So I'm looking at 3s right now, and there's only a 3 like over here and then a 3 like over here. And that's not telling us much either, unfortunately. So let's move on to 4. Oh, I see 1 for 4. So there's a 4 here that cancels out everything there. And then another 4 down here, which cancels all that out. And taken. So this one has to be 4 right there. Halftime is showing Peyton Manning by himself, and he's talking about the Aaron Rodgers. And nothing new from what I said earlier. Oh, he's talking to Stuart Scott. So x-rays were negative and out for the remainder of the game. So no new information there. I'm sure Rodgers will be talking about that stuff in the press conferences, which I should live stream. because I hinted towards the fact that I like the live stream portion of it. So, all right, 6. 6s are such a spooky number, man. There's only 2 6s there, so moving on to 7. All right, same deal with 7 as the 4s. So we're kind of on a roll with this column here. So there's a 7 here canceling things out, and then another 7 canceling things out there. So the middle, taken. So this one has to be 7 by default. And then we are seeing also with that, so look at the middle for the 7s. 7 cancels that out. There's already a 7 there that's canceling that out. And then a 7 up here cancels this out. So these two could possibly be 7s. And I'm looking at the 8s, and the 8s in the top rows are complete. And then there's an 8 over here as well. And so that would leave this column for the 8s. But this one would cancel out that one. So 8 and 8 right there. And then let's look at the 9s. Okay, I see something with the 9s. So let's look at the bottom row here. So so 9 cancels out this bottom one, and then 9 cancels out all these ones. So that means there would be 2 spots left because this one's canceled out, this one's canceled out. And we got to look up here for any 9s that are, and there's a 9 right there canceling out that. So this one has to be a 9. And that also helps cancel out things for the middle one too. Now let's look at all the possibilities for the 9. So 9 cancels out bottom, 9 cancels out top. We're looking at this center square area here. So again, bottom part canceled out, top part canceled out as well. And then 9 cancels out from the middle one from the top too. So that would leave this one, I think, as the default for the 9. You just put a 9 in the spot where there was either 2 possible options for the 8, which means this one has to be 8 now as well because we eliminated that other spot for the 9. And then 8 cancels out over here, then 8 cancels out over here. So, and then there's a bunch of other numbers canceling out over here. So this one by default has to be 8. And because this square has 8 numbers completed already, there's already only one remaining left in this square over here. So that means there's a number available by default. We just got to count 1 through 9 to figure out which one that is. So 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I like to be thorough when I count out 1 through 9 just to be sure, but we know that is a 2. And they're showing Eli Manning back. Now it's Peyton. I don't know what they're doing. They're recapping, I guess, Aaron Rodgers stuff. They're recapping their broadcast, I think. So, anyways. I lost track of where I was with this, but we made a lot of progress on this, and I'll solve this later and then show you guys. Talk about how easy this was, but it looks like we're getting back into it. Randall Cobb looks like he's giving advice to the Jets, the Zach Wilson, and giving him encouragement and everything. But we're getting back into this game. It's looking like so. We failed on the raid bait tonight, unfortunately, but that's okay. The entertainment is what matters. Peyton's talking about vomiting in a stall, and I don't know any context for it. Name dropping Salah? Oh, it must be about Zach Wilson and his nervousness. This is his third season, though. I mean, how nervous should you be at this point? Because you played a significant amount in your first season, and then you played a lot in your second season, even though you got benched for poor performance and poor attitude issues. But and you have a new system, new offensive coordinator, and you're basically replaced by a superstar, a future Hall of Famer who is now injured. Now you're back in, so it's like maybe confusing situation stuffs. He's not as good as Josh Allen right now, but I mean, I guess he's serviceable. He can game manage, I guess. Starting the third quarter, Wilson pitches to the running back. He goes up the middle and is brought down at the line of scrimmage. I couldn't tell which. I think it was Dalvin Cook. I was looking for 10, and I didn't see 10 with that running back, so it couldn't have been Breece Hall, which, by the way, where is Breece Hall? As I mentioned before, we haven't seen him since that 83-yard run he had. He's not out too, is he? Second and 10. Under center. Drops back and passes. No. He got rid of it before he got sacked. Incomplete. Okay, Breece. No, that's not Breece Hall. Never mind. There's going to be a running back running up the middle, turning around to catch it, but it looked like Wilson just missed him. Oh, yeah, that is Breece Hall. I thought Breece Hall was number 10 for some reason, but he's number 20. Drops back to pass. Passes it down the middle. Caught by Garrett Wilson for first down, and then some. Right at the 43-yard line. There's Garrett Wilson. Right down the middle while being tight in coverage, but he got it. I couldn't tell who that was covering him. I guess White. Tosses it aside to the running back. It looks like it's Dalvin Cook, who gets about 7 on that play. 2nd and 1, actually. Maybe 8 or 9 he got on that play. Does anybody have any suggestions for the name for my chair? I don't want to just call it chair. And apparently it's a YouTube trend to have a name for your chair while it takes over while you get to the bathroom. Oh, passes it, dumps it out for Breece Hall, who gets a first down and more. About an extra 10 yards after that, down to the 36. Another decent run. So the Jets are moving the ball. They're coming out swinging in this start of this third quarter. That was just like a check down to Brees Hall, and no one was in front of him to tackle him. So he got a lot of because everybody was coming up to try to sack Wilson, I guess. Green 18, Green 18. Hands it off to Cook, who goes up the middle and bulldozes his way down to a first down. The Jets have clearly adjusted, and it seems to be working so far, and they're using their running backs quite a bit. Garrett Wilson is being a factor as well. Peyton and Eli are debating about cover 2 and what you have to do in that situation. A little too advanced for my liking, I guess. Oh, actually, it's 2nd and 1. He didn't get the first down. He got close, though. Hands it off to Cook again, who gets brought down in the backfield, a loss of 1. Brought down by 57. Show me your name. Epinesa. Haven't heard of that guy before. Learning a little bit about more and more about the Jets. I'm wondering where Gregory Rousseau is. He's the edge rusher I was expecting to see big things from the Bills. Hopefully it wasn't ruled out, and I just haven't realized it this whole time. But now it's 3rd and 2 at the 28-yard line. He runs it up the middle. Dalvin Cook for a first down and more. Peyton Manning predicted Wilson waved Cook back over to stand right next to his right because he was originally lined up toward the left as if he was running a receiving route, but he waved him back over and Peyton was like, oh, they're going to run it now. That's the audible. They're going to run it. And that's what they did. Got a first down and more. Now Cook is on the sidelines. The former Vikings running back who had a lot of good years with the Vikings, but then had some sort of falling out in the offseason. I didn't pay much attention to that storyline, so I didn't know what was going on there, but I'm fortunate that it happened because it made the Vikings a worse team, which makes things better for the Lions. So I'm probably going to try to name my chair by the time the stream ends tonight. But one other thing I'm going to do, I think we know who's probably going to wind up winning this game. So I think it's never too early to work on our top 10 power rankings after the week 1 power rankings. And I already kind of got a start last night, and I'll show you who I kind of had. So number 1 was the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins. Number 5, the Detroit Lions. Number 6, the Cleveland Browns. Number 7, the LA Rams. Number 8, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 9, the Green Bay Packers. Number 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So my criteria for this, number 1, you have to have won the game that you played in this week because this is the very first week of the season. Then number 2, I rank the teams based on the winning teams based on their point differentials. So you can do that. If you're looking at ESPN standings, and you can click the whole league and then just click on the point differentials parts. And whoever has the biggest one is most likely to be up there in the top. In this case, Dallas Cowboys, they have a 40-point differential. We all saw that last night. And then the third thing is strength of their opponents. And I'm not factoring in how good or bad the team was last year. The only way the good or bad teams from last year factored into this is how good their opponents was, and that's what I used for that. So, for instance, Philadelphia would be up there because they played the Patriots, and they're always a good team. Detroit Lions are up there at 5 because they defeated the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, and the Browns are up there because they defeated the Cincinnati Bengals, who's another really good team. And that's why teams like Green Bay Packers, even though they had a really good game and whooped the Chicago Bears, the Bears are typically a subpar team. So, anybody could have really beat that team. So it's less impressive. But I ran out options for teams that won the game. So they wound up in there as well. Jacksonville's team that they played, the Colts, I didn't really respect that much either. But, it's a place where you kind of run out of options there. The Rams also had a very impressive win against a team that was supposed to be really good that made the playoffs last year as well, and nobody expected them to do that well. They don't have Cooper Kupp, but Matthew Stafford had an amazing game, which is no surprise. No one's talking about Stafford being healthy again. What the hell? The Manning brothers are talking about nudity while running the ball. Oh, Breece Hall was running it, but it got knocked out of his hand, but the fumble went out of bounds. There's a lot going on right now. Maybe instead of doing a raid bait video, I should just do like clips of me trying to interpret what the Manning brothers are saying out of context. I might get into that. 3rd and 13 at the 25. Wilson under pressure, running way, way backwards after being chased by 3 Bills and tosses it out of bounds. He must have ran like 35 yards backwards to avoid getting sacked. But there's a flag on the play. Oh, I got it. Offensive pass interference number ineligible to field. Decline. 4th down. Okay, 2 penalties declined there. But let's say Aaron Rodgers is like out for the season after this game because the Detroit Lions are looking to trade for a wide receiver according to certain sources. And then the whole reason they brought Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb there was to help out Aaron Rodgers. But if he's not going to be doing anything for them, then maybe those receivers could be on the trading block. And it'd be a weird feeling to have former – well, not really because the Lions signed Jamal Williams after he was with Green Bay, but those could be available wide receivers for those reasons. That could be an idea, Lazard or Cobb, and they're both veterans at this point. 43-yard goal attempt by the Jets, so they're not punting it. They're field goaling it. Kick is up. Down the middle. It is good. $13-6 Buffalo. Once the Bills inevitably win this game, they're probably going to be up here somewhere because the Jets are thought of as a good team, even Rodgers or not, because they have a really good defense and they good pieces on offense. So question is, where am I going to put the Bills? I'm thinking of putting them in between 4 and 5, in between where Miami is at 4 and where Detroit is at 5. Because the Bills are still a dominant team heading into the season, but I did say I didn't factor in their performance last year into this, but I don't know yet. Miami was highly ranked up there because they, scored a lot of points, and they played a very tough scoring opponent in the Los Angeles Chargers too. So, and in my opinion, Miami Dolphins are one of the top teams when they are healthy, when Tua is not on concussion protocol, which had to do with like a lot of their downfall last season. It's like what the Minnesota Vikings are trying to be, except they have two really good wide receivers, and they're way more competent and efficient with what they're doing. And then that would knock off either the Green Bay Packers or Jacksonville Jaguars off that list there. So, or Tampa Bay. I forgot I had them up there, but they did beat the Vikings, who are the reigning divisional winners there. So their defensive line impressed me in that game against the Vikings, and Baker Mayfield played better than expected. So I haven't had a chance to look at what Jacksonville did with their game. Or wait, I kind of heard about it because they played the Colts, who are one of the worst teams, but apparently it was a close game through and through until toward the end. So that would probably put them toward the bottom of the power rankings, I guess. We're talking about Jared Goff. Peyton saying he's liking the Lions. Let's go. One pride. Looks like Allen tried to run the ball toward the side, but brought down immediately by Jermaine Johnson, the second. Was another edge rusher that I really liked in the draft a couple of years ago. But he kind of fell, and the Jets, I guess, traded up and got him, and along with Garrett Wilson and with Sauce Gardner, and they had a really good first round from that night. Oh, they're gonna have Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Manning cast in a minute. 2nd 11. Josh Allen about to pass. Darts down the middle. Caught. First down and more. By 88. Sean McDermott is shown, and he's wearing an NYPD ball cap. '88 was wide open there. First and 10. Ball at the 39. Allen shotgun. Running back on his left. Fakes it. Dumps it off to 86, who's running up and bulldozes his way into the first down. Dalton Kincaid. That's who that is. The rookie tight end. We get to see Kincaid. I was wondering when he would show up. The only tight end drafted ahead of Sam Laporta in this last year's draft. Hands it off to Cook again, who managed to make his way around and get a first down toward the sideline. Brought down by, is that Sauce? Sauce isn't 4, is he? I thought Sauce was 1, actually. Yeah, so who's 4? Allen is calling the play in the huddle, and you see Knox, his back turned to us, facing Allen, listening. And now they're lined up for the play. 1st and 10. Allen shotgun, running back standing to his right. Drops back for the pass, dumps it off to Cook, and he gets a gain of about 2.5 yards. Check down. That's the term. I keep forgetting it, even though I know it. Listening to Peyton, defensive coordinators going at it in practice. Oh, wait. Allen scrambled to his right and passed it to Diggs, and he got a first down there. I'm listening to Peyton talking about his other quarterbacks spending time with him, telling what defenses are trying to do. Sean McDermott was good at that. He reached out to Peyton and that sort of stuff is what he's trying to explain, I guess. Fakes the handoff. Oh, Allen loses his footing and stumbles forward in a loss of 2. He basically sacked himself on that one. Head coach is calling the defensive plays, is what Eli is saying. We all remember what happened when Matt Patricia did that with the Lions. We don't talk about that. Allen goes deep from the 50, and it's intercepted. No. Yes, it is intercepted. Somebody's helmet flew off over there, too, by number 3. By number 3 again. He went deep for the end zone, and it was in double coverage, and the Jets caught it. I told you guys the Jets were the better team in terms of secondary and pass coverage and not giving up yards that way. They're saying the ruling on the field is a touchback. He's going for Diggs, but he was in double coverage. Whitfield, I think, is the name of the number 3 who got the interception. Actually, I have the ability to check. Whitehead. Jay Whitehead. There's a preview for Loki, which I've seen before. I think they're getting ready to get up their new guest here after this commercial break, but the Manning brothers, that is. So once again, I'm still kind of working on my week 1 power rankings, and I'm not going to make a video about this. I'm probably just going to put a post on YouTube and just say 1, this team, 2, that team, and so on. And the reason I think that I don't necessarily believe power rankings by week to week are a good way of determining like how much of a team gets better or worse. I think when you do it once every 3 weeks or like what would that be? 1/6 of a season. I think that's a better way to do it. So I prefer, I haven't decided yet whether I want to do a power rankings video once every 3 weeks or once every 6 weeks, which would be like a third of the season. Still thinking about that there, but like doing week to week, I know it's like a trendy thing to do with like ESPN and all the other websites do it and all the other YouTubers do it, and that would help with content. But like to do a power rankings here, week 1 would be really difficult just because you have such a small sample size. And I really think like after 3 weeks, then you'll have a much better idea of which team's going to be good and which teams are going to be bad and which teams are going to be mid. And I forgot the other point I was going to make. Because you have like a bunch of like last year memory to go off of. And like maybe the Kansas City Chiefs will be a mid team this year after all, even though I don't think that they will be, but they're thought of as the top team because they won the Super Bowl last year. But what if it's like the Rams from last year? Like they won the Super Bowl the previous year, but then they just turned out to be one of the most subpar teams. But in week 1, week 2, we think that they're one of the best teams until we eventually are given enough evidence to not give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. So that's my thought process with like the power rankings system anyway. But maybe I'll get to it week for week. I also have a package coming in the mail, which I think would be effective with being able to do my own power rankings. So I'll reveal that later. Ryan Fitzpatrick has joined the Manning cast, showing replays of the interception. Allen slamming his helmet. Fitzpatrick is naming teams for some reason. Wilson drops back to pass. Check down to Garrett Wilson, who's brought down immediately. Second down. Negativity train on Zach Wilson. Let's pump the brakes here, Ryan says. Ryan's like, Zach, you got to talk to a guy like me, not Drew Brees. Bills haven't capitalized on the Wilson situation yet. He thought the Bills would really come out and take it to them, and it just hasn't happened, is what Fitzpatrick is saying. Wilson dumps it off to 32, and he gets a gain of about 2 from that, but there's a flag on the play. That's our punting. Punt returner has nowhere to go, so he goes out of bounds. All right. Yeah, I think I'm probably good with this, and I'll just do a post on it. And I'll put Buffalo when they inevitably win the game between Miami and Detroit, and they'll be the new number 5 team, and everybody will go down one, and Jacksonville will be off, and then we'll just go from there. And then when I do that post, I'll explain my process in the post about like the teams who have won a game, their point differentials, and who played the tougher opponents, essentially. And yeah. But I always like seeing kind of the way the other people try to do their power rankings. Everybody's always kind of different somehow. The way Perna and Grassi do theirs there. Their gimmicks with theirs is always funny. Like Tom's like the straight man trying to be logical, but Perna's is like really crazy and chaotic, and the banter on that every single time is just hilarious. Like Perna doesn't even follow the rules for it. He just like puts like 14 teams on there, and then just like other random people as best he can. So. Really trying to get my potassium tonight. I was drinking orange juice at the start of this, and now this is my second banana of the day. Yeah, I can see the letters much bigger. They really stick out, and you can really read what it's trying to say. So for that, I'm grateful. If Rodgers is out for the season after that, then he would have to be the biggest tease in NFL history with how much he's been talking about this offseason with his storyline and all that. All that hype and expectations just goes down the drain as the rest of the season goes on. Not that I wish any harm toward him or anybody or anything. Like, I want him to help make the Jets entertaining and make some entertaining football, especially now that he's out of the NFC North. Hey, Matt Damon is there. Or is that Matt Damon? Matt Damon's not a Jets fan, is he? I don't know who that was. Allen drops back to pass. He runs around to the right. He's pursued. He just chucks it out of bounds. Gets rid of it. Minute 22 left in the third quarter. They're showing that trending Bills fan who has like the beard and shirtless and hairy chest and everything going, yeah. Now they're showing Eli at the beach in swim trunks carrying a small red pail. And Peyton is like, I just want to show you this picture. Take it in. Tell us your thoughts. And Eli is defending himself. Cook catches a check down and gets a few gains, a couple yards away from the first down, though. Cook brothers playing against each other. Diggs was in the stands to support the other Diggs last night. Now he's playing tonight. And the Bills punt it away. And he catches it and goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Out of bounds. I'm casual fan. That's how I brand myself. But I'm like one of the kids. Sorry, I'm rehearsing my daydreams out loud. I was imagining meeting Peyton Manning, and he was on my YouTube cast, and then like I was talking about how I brand myself as a casual fan compared to him, who's like the huge like football expert, and I'm saying him, well, who am I to talk? Like, as far as everyone's concerned, I'm like one of those kids in that SNL skit you did with like the United Way. You guys remember when Peyton Manning was on SNL, right? And he had that skit. I guess it was like, I don't know if it was United Way, but it was like something like that, like one of those standard commercials where the quarterback is playing with the kids and it's promoting teamwork and goodness and everything. And then the tone of it, the commercial, the fake commercial on SNL is it switches to Peyton Manning playing as if he would play in an NFL game, and the kids are like confused and scared and trying to keep up. And he sends a kid into the Porter John, and he like drills other kids, and that like You probably saw it at one point or another in your lives. So Peyton Manning's a really funny dude. The only other thing I remember him being on with SNL, the Weekend Update. He was on it recently, a couple of years ago, while talking about uh, the Emily in Paris show, and he was doing X and O's about that, and uh, he was. It was funny because we were expecting him to talk about football, but he was talking about that show, uh, and he was really into it. And I was like, "What?" And he was claiming he had no idea who won the Bills and the Patriots game, which I talked about earlier. The Bills destroyed the Patriots in that playoff game. They're showing a picture of somebody named Chad Powers. They're saying naked play action, and Wilson is pursued again. He tried to throw it, and it was incomplete and intended for Garrett Williams, I think. It was batted away by the defender. The way the Bills are pressuring the quarterbacks and the way the Jets, I think, have pressured Allen from time to time is what I expect the Lions to do and to see. And they did that quite a bit in that game, even though apparently the Chiefs' tackle was cheating and getting away with all sorts of holding penalties and whatnot. But Hutchinson was doing his job, and other people behind the scenes that nobody realized. Oh, Brees Hall broke a tackle and almost made a first down, ran out of bounds. But yeah, Hutchinson did his job there. Houston was doing his job. He almost sacked Mahomes when he got in, but he couldn't bring him down when he was in. Charles Harris, I saw him do a thing or two there. Josh Pascal had a key tackle for a loss late in the game there too. So Pascal was another one I was really high on when they drafted him in the second round a couple years ago. So the Lions, I think, have a good defensive line and a good edge rushing unit, and I think we're going to see quite a bit of it because apparently both of Seattle's tackles are injured, so it's possible the edge rushers just might feast in this upcoming game. But Geno Smith is tends to be pretty mobile, so it might be difficult to try to bring him down again. I got to do more research with the Seahawks and get an idea of what type of team the Lions will be up against. But they have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of good players all around. Colby Wooden is one. Witherspoon, but he's injured right now. He's out. Both of the running backs, Kenneth Walker III, he's really good. Zach Charbonnet was a running back. I also thought the Lions might want to draft and, get somebody who's a good bell cow. At the time, my thought process, because I thought they'd bring back Jamal Williams, was have a bell cow, to kind of be running back 3 for if Jamal Williams is, because he's older there and he got injured and everything. But they decided to get rid of the 2 running backs, draft a new one, and sign another one anyway. But I talked about Rashawn Johnson, how he impressed me with the Bears. He's the only player on that team that really impressed me from watching that game from the Bears. He was somebody I thought would be a good bell cow as well as Charbonnet. But neither one of those teams made it to the Lions anyway because the Lions got Gibbs, who is the second best running back in that class behind Bijan Robinson. The hiccups have distracted me from my point. Oh, yeah, Seahawks. Yeah, Jackson Smith and they Jigman too. Excuse me, sorry. I'm going to have to hold my breath for a second. Hopefully that's enough time. We're back. Wilson drops back. He's pressured, and he is sacked at the 30 by multiple Bills players. And my tablet has frozen. Oh, we're back. Jets punt it. But Fitzpatrick is talking about a special time. Eli's last moment as a Giant or whatever. Oh, it's the fourth quarter. Peyton's talking about how this is the longest drive, blah, 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 blah. Yesterday was the longest game. Harvard quarterback, Fitzpatrick's college career, I guess. Showing a picture of him without a beard, 2001, 2004. Allen passes the dig. No, that's. I'm forgetting who people are now. There's a few games and he ran out of bounds. Yeah, that was Cook. So Cook is 4. I got to remember that. Allen hands it to Cook up the middle. Rushes in battles his way for a first down. Interesting noises after big plays is Eli's question. Allen going, oh, he tried to scramble up the middle, but he got sacked. Jermaine Johnson, the second, caught him. Oh, he does make weird noises. Oh, I can't do it like the same way. I see what they mean, though. I'm going to look at the back score statistics and how people are doing. Josh Allen, 23 for 29, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. James Cook, 11 carries for 43 yards, longest one, 13. And Josh Allen has 4 carries of himself for 29 yards. My tablet is frozen again. Stephon Diggs has 7 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown, his longest one being 18. And then the Jets offense. Zach Wilson, 11 for 18, 99 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Breece Hall, 6 carries, 113 yards. The longest one, 83 yards. We remember that one. Shovel pass, and he gets the first down. At the 45. Dalvin Cook has 8 carries for 30 yards. Definitely bell cowing it. And the New York receiving, Dalvin Cook has 3 receptions for 26 yards. Allen Lazard, 1 reception for 22 yards. Breece Hall, 1 reception for 20 yards. Garrett Wilson, 3 receptions, 17 yards. So he's really cooled down. I'm looking at sacks on defense for the Bills. Leonard Floyd has 1.5 sacks. Obviously, one of them was on Aaron Rodgers earlier. Ed Oliver has half a sack. Jordan Phillips has 1 sack. That's a total of 3 for them. And for the Jets defense, sacks, Jermaine Johnson has 1 sack. John Franklin Myers has 1 sack. Quinnen Jefferson has 1 sack. Bryce Huff has 1 sack. Al Woods has 1 sack. So it sounds like a lot of the defense on both sides is doing their jobs, like I keep talking about with them. So where are we at here? 3rd down. 4th quarter, 10-12 left to go. The clock is still running. They're trying to predict a play with Fitz. Allen drops back to pass. Deep toward the air. Is it intercepted again? I think he intercepted it. Number 3, once again. I don't know if he was out of bounds or what. Diggs was the intended target, and Whitfield. Yeah, he intercepted it in bounds. That's his 3rd interception of the game. Or Whitehead. Whitehead 3 interceptions of Josh Allen. So Jets secondary is really good too. So the Jets have the ball back. All the Jets have to do is score 1 touchdown, and they can tie the game. So this is still looks like a really close game, but it feels like Buffalo is in control of this game because Aaron Rodgers is out and Zach Wilson is in. Like, we all think the Bills are going to win this game at this point, but objectively, when looking at this, it still looks like a close game, and there's plenty of time left in the 4th quarter. But both defenses are like top 5 in the league, so it feels like it's really unlikely. No, this game is not going to put me to sleep. I've been training myself to go to bed earlier and then wake up earlier because I've been I was going to bed at like 2 a.m. and waking up at like 10. It feels like the last few days, and I'm trying to get myself back on track. So I got to go somewhere early tomorrow anyway. You guys can look at the blue lion and his blue mane while I check my phone. Getting an alert from the NFL app. Yep, it's a close game alert, and that's what I was trying to describe, even though it feels like the Bills are in control of this game. They're back, and they're talking about, it's a game recap, it looks like. Oh, no, never mind. They're going back and forth with that last interception. Not a good route by Gabe Davis is what they're saying. Hand off to Hall, who goes nowhere. into a huge pile. Third and 2. A punt's probably not a bad play there for Buffalo, is what Peyton Manning says. I love having this chair as opposed to that metal thing, which is over there now. I can lean back and just kind of feel comfy and relax as Wilson shovel passes it to Garrett Wilson for a fourth down. And now, as he was almost sacked, and he's still going down to the 26. Wow. That was to Alan Lazard. See, this is still a close game. Lazard is smiling. He was about to get sacked, and he just all the way out to Lazard, and he did the rest there. Ball's on the 28. First and 10. 7:33 left to go in this game. Hands off to the middle, and he plows his way to 6 yards or so. Ryan is predicting a pick 6 for the Bills, and Peyton's giving him crap for it in a playful manner. Oof. Another run up the middle, only gain of 1 yard there. Third down coming up. Clock is still running, so 6:42 left to go. Peyton is saying, yeah, I would run it twice, send a message to Bills. We're here. We're sending a message. Not only do you want to score in a situation like this, but you want to try to run down the clock as best you can so that when the Bills inevitably get the ball back, that they have as little time as possible to do anything about it. Who caught that pass? Garrett Wilson. Did he catch it? He was in double coverage, and there was a pass that zipped into 3 people, and I couldn't tell who caught it. Replay. Garrett Wilson caught it. So that was a gain. We're at first and goal. Ball on the 9-yard line. Wilson under center. Drops back to pass. Scrambles to the left. He's trying to duke out the bees. He gets brought down at the 4-yard line. Things are starting to get exciting. The more time you can eat off the clock, even though you're behind, the better, because the last thing you want to do is give the Bills one drive to score a touchdown where they'll also do the same thing, and then you would have no time on the clock to try to score. So that's why running the ball late in the game is important for whoever's winning or whatever. He drops back to pass, lobs it up. Oh, he caught it. Touchdown, Jets. It was almost intercepted, and then it was kind of dangled on the defender's hand or whatever, and then it popped up, and then Garrett Wilson. I keep doing that. Garrett Wilson just caught it. It was almost deflected, and then he just grabbed it in midair as it was going to the ground after the deflection, and it was a touchdown. It kind of looked like he bobbled it from the new angle, but he wound up catching it anyway. Flag on the extra point. Retry from the 20-yard line, delay a game on offense. Whew. Just like that, the Jets are right back into this. Garrett Wilson is definitely a top receiver. I think he'll – Williams or Wilson? I'm confusing myself. The extra point is good. And we have a tied game. Garrett Wilson. We have a tied game. Late in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder when it'd be appropriate to go for two in those situations. I guess if you're behind, I guess. All right. I know I have no viewers in here right now, but who is pumped? Who is pumped that we have a tied game here? Anybody could win at this point. It's not necessarily the Bills' game to win gift wrapped in a bow tie anymore. But then again, they are getting the ball at the correct time in these type of situations. So they would have the advantage right now, I guess, even though the Jets did try to shave off as much time on the clock as they could. Yeah, if the Jets win this game, then I guess they would have to take that spot, that number 4 spot in my Week 1 power rankings. Maybe even go up higher, considering they beat the Bills and they're universally thought of as the better team anyway. I'm probably going to start that post right now. Give me a second to type out most of it. Yep, I'm going to focus on this for a minute, so bear with me. Game is back. Yeah, the Bills haven't really done much on offense this second half anyway. They were going to expecting to show the touchdown, but they showed his interceptions instead. Allen's interceptions. Oh, there's a fumble. What's going on? Fumble. Jets are saying they have it. And the refs confirm it. The Jets have the ball. Oh, my gosh. And there's a fight going on, too. There's a scrimmage, a scruffle. Oh, people are getting knocked down. There might be some ejections. What is going on here? Wow, things are getting wild all of a sudden. I guess Josh Allen fumbled it or something. Oh, he didn't catch the snap. It like bounced off of Allen's chest and he couldn't catch it, and it just and then fell down. And the Jets laid down on it, jumped on it. He like tried to look over here before he caught it, and I think that's what contributed to it. Oh my gosh. Things are all going the Jets' way right now. They could eat more time off the clock right here and then just win it with a field goal as time expires. All right, 1st and 10 on the 27-yard line. Wilson hands off. He gets a gain of about 6. Hands off to Breece Hall. All right, 2nd and 4. Ball on the 21. Hands off to Breece Hall again, and he scrambles through the middle. Did he make it to the first down? He got close. Ryan is straight out saying, do not throw this football. Because the Jets can just kick a field goal at any point. I think whoever wins this game I'll have as number 5 on my power rankings. They hand it off to Hall again, and I don't think he got it. You would have thrown it into double coverage into Wilson, is what Peyton said. I think he's being sarcastic. Yeah, I don't think Breece Hall made it to that first down. So it's got to be 4th down. The chain gang's coming out for the measurement. And he's short. 4th and inches. There's 3:01 left on the clock. They're going for it on 4th down. Oh, those balls of steel on Robert Saleh. They are going for it. You got to run the time off the clock, but you don't want to kick a field goal here because that gives enough time for the Bills to score on their next drive. Quarterback sneak. I think he got it. That is why you invest in an offensive line. Clock is running down to 2:30 right now. Robert Sala's pumping his fist in celebration, like, yeah. I'm that guy from Criminal Minds who does all the action stuff. Yep, 1st and 10 on the 17-yard line. Hands off to Brees Hall again, who goes nowhere. Lost of 3. Or no, that was Dalvin Cook. I'm sorry. Now we are at the 2-minute warning. Things are heating up over here. The momentum is gone all in the Jets' favor in the last few minutes. They scored a touchdown, and then they recovered a fumble. At any point, they could kick a field goal if they want to, but they also want to run down the clock, give the Bills as little time as possible to come back on the score. Preferably with like 2 seconds left is when you want to kick the field goal, but who knows if they'll get that there. Up until. All right, here we go. 2nd and 13. Wilson under center. Green 18, Granite. Hands off to Brees Hall again. Gain of 2. Buffalo calls their first time out. Peyton's trying to explain the situation from both point of views. This is a pretty decent test for Sean McDermott as a defensive coordinator in this situation here. So, and he called his first time out. So, hands off to Hall, who breaks a few tackles, and he gets a gain of about 5 yards, I'd say. And now it's 4th down. Second charge timeout, Buffalo. Ryan's talking about how they wish there's more interactions, but everybody's sitting down. Like Diggs going up to Josh Allen being like, hey, we got your back, buddy. Vaughn isn't Von Miller. He's pumping people up on the sidelines, I guess. So, field goal. There's a line drive, but it's good. 1:48 left on the clock. And the Jets are now ahead 16-13. That 6 looks weird. I'm going to fix that. I had the Jets winning this game before the game started, so. But of course, they're winning the game for different reasons now because the defense has stepped up when they need to. Brees Hall's having a good game. And the Jets are not making that many mistakes now. Whereas Josh Allen has thrown 3 interceptions all toward the same person. I'm going to check the box score real quick. Jordan Whitehead has 3 interceptions, and Matt Milano from the Bills has 1. Commercial break. Everybody's waiting anxiously to see what happens. But this game, way, way better than last night's Sunday Night Football game. I got my YouTube post for the power rankings almost ready. Whoever wins this game will go in the number 5 spot. It'll be Dallas Cowboys 1, San Francisco 49ers 2, Philadelphia Eagles 3, Miami Dolphins 4, question mark 5, Detroit Lions 6, Cleveland Browns 7, Los Angeles Rams 8, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9, and then Green Bay Packers number 10. Criteria: win the game, the higher point differential, and then strength of opponent. And I did that right up until number 10, and I just went with whoever scored a lot of points and whose defense looked really well, even if it was a bad team, in which case that was the Green Bay Packers. So we're back. They're showing replays of the fumble. Hayden's talking about Joe Montana. Let's see who's trending when I click on load more. Aaron Rodgers, FanDuel's sponsored Woody, Josh Allen, Madden Curse is trending. Carson Wentz is trending. Why is Carson Wentz trending? Catch of the year is trending. Probably the Garrett Wilson touchdown. Joe Buck is trending. What a catch is trending. Sauce Gardner trending. I haven't seen much of Sauce Gardner in this game at all. I don't know what he's doing. Zach Wilson's trending. Tom Brady's trending. 3 INTs is trending. 1st and 10. Ball at the 25. Allen shotgun. Calling audibles. Ball is snapped. Scrambles up to the middle. Getting close to the first down. Gets brought down at the 31. Bills have 1 timeout left while the Jets have 3 timeouts left. Goes back to pass. Gets it to Diggs. 1st down and more. It's about a 15-yard gain. They're running back. Clock is running. 108, 107, 106, 105, 102, 101. And my tablet froze. Crap. Oh, here we go. It's back. It's blurry. Get it to Diggs. Pass is complete. Out of bounds. But a flag on the play. From a Buffalo. Pass interference 14 offense on Diggs. That's a 10-yard penalty. Peyton saying, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's brutal. Jets call their first timeout. All right, we're back. 35 seconds left. First and 20 at the 42-yard line. Allen in the shotgun. Across the field, caught. Diggs catches it. Timeout called. Third and final timeout for Buffalo. Diggs is doing his things here. He's catching the passes. He got one offensive pass interference penalty, but other than that, they're saying that offensive pass interference was a bad call by the OPI. All right. Allen going back under center. Nope, he's calling audibles. Play clock down to 4. Quick pass to Diggs again. First down and more. Down at the 28. Clock is running. 18, 17, 16. Spikes it. Second and 10. Reed is the cornerback covering Diggs, and I don't know where Sauce Gardner is anymore. All right, 16 left on the clock. Second and 10. Allen drops back. Lobs it across the field. Out of bounds. 10 seconds left. Third and 10. Peyton is saying they should kick it. Ten seconds left. Showing Tyler Bass on the sideline. Play clock down to 4, to 3, to 2. The Jets called a timeout. That's 2 timeouts that the Jets are happy that the Bills took, Peyton says. They're showing pregame footage of the Bills kicker hitting a 60-yard field goal. If it were me, I would have called the last timeout right before the field goal kicker to mess with their head. Or do they have one more timeout to do that? I lost track of the timeouts. Oh, yeah, they just have one timeout left. All right, it's back to pass. Throws it to the sideline, incomplete. 4th and 10, and out comes the field goal unit. Ryan Fitzpatrick is wearing a helmet. Saying these days for kickers, these are like chip shots. Six seconds left to go. Is that the 50-yard field goal attempt? Kick is up. Oh, it doinked. And it went in, and the field goal is good. We have a tied game with 2 seconds left. Oh, man, we got a ball game. That's probably going to go into overtime. The kick went up. It hit the side like crossbar, doink, and then went inside. Oh, it hit the orange flag at the top. Hit the red win flag, and then it went like inside the correct part of the crossbar. Oh, man. They're asking Fitz to take his shirt off because he's celebrating, I guess. They want to make that meme out of him. Wow, we got a game. Two seconds left, and the Bills are going to kick off. We got a ball game, folks. I didn't think this through, but I guess on this, I get to write overtime, OT. Peyton Manning's like, I like a flea flicker here. We are heading into overtime. Panic at the Disco. I don't know if that's how that song goes, but, you know. So much suspense with this overtime. Who is going to get the number 5 spot on my power rankings of week 1? Showing off the chair. I still don't have a name for it. You know what? It's clear to me now. The Jets defender whose name I keep forgetting, who keeps getting all those interceptions. Whitehead. That's going to be the name of my chair. They're out there for the coin toss. Bills and their coin tosses, man. Must be PTSD for them. Just kidding, but you get what I mean. Bills calls heads. It is heads. Buffalo gets the ball first. I'm going to take this opportunity to take a quick bathroom break. All right, what'd I miss? Penalty on somebody. Offensive line keeps jumping off sides. What? I had to grab one more string cheese for this. I've eaten too many today, but Zach Wilson gets 50 yards. Penalty on Buffalo. Sam Brown. False start, 5 yards. So 1st and 15. Allen drop back. Passes. Incomplete. Intended for Kincaid, I think. No, Knox is who I meant. Ow. Second and 15. At the 20. They give it to Cook, who gets about 2 yards. 3rd down. We don't know huddle on 3rd down. The clock is at 9:33 and running. 3rd and 12. Allen jogs back. Scrambling. Tosses. Incomplete. Sala was clapping and smiling. Reed was covering Diggs, and Allen had a pass rusher right in his face. obstructing his vision, and they punt it. Catches it at the 35, and he's still going to the 40, to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown. The New York Jets win on a walk-off punt return. This is why I say special teams is key. Oh, my gosh. Martin. S. Martin. Oh, wow. So the Jets win after all. Never underestimate special teams. Congratulations, New York Jets. You get the number 5 spot in my power rankings. The Jets won the game, and they didn't even need Aaron Rodgers to do it. And they're celebrating. Everything's going wild. Never take for granted special teams. That is why I prioritize punt returners, kick returners, those type of people. They're talking about the Garrett Wilson catch. Probably going to be right up there at top 10 play nominees or whatever. SportsCenter's top 10 if they still have that. I haven't watched SportsCenter in a long time. Man, oh man. I kind of want to stick around and, well, it wouldn't be on the tablet or anything. I want to see Aaron Rodgers' press conference. It might be on YouTube somewhere, though. Doink is trending. Showing Salah on the replay running out there celebrating with everybody. The ironic thing is the Lions beat the Jets last season partly because of a punt return touchdown, and now the Jets win a game literally from a punt return touchdown. I did give the edge for special teams to the Jets in this game too, but I believe it was for different reasons, though. Savior's his name. Man, oh man. I'm going to do this post. Yeah, the Jets would be fine because the Bills are a very tough opponent, so they would be higher up on my power rankings. They deserve it for that. And my chair's name officially is Whitehead because of that guy who had 3 interceptions against Josh Allen, and I hope to this minute that I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But to anybody who's watching, that's the game. It was way more exciting than last night's game, even though there were some unexpected injuries that changed things. But this was fun. I especially doing the Manning and Manning version of it. So as opposed to Joe Buck. I probably won't have any extra videos from this live stream coming out until later because, like I said, I kind of have to – I got stuff to do. So I'm thinking about doing even another video of, like, my reactions of, like, out-of-context stuff I heard from the Manning brothers. So, but, yeah, we're wrapping up. Thank you for everybody who came and watched, and we'll see you again on Thursday. And as always, go Lions, one pride.